All Out, 2 thumbs up, great show. I thought, though, real quickly, UK TakeOver Cardiff was even better. I thought NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff was the superior show. If you really want to compare, which it's not really necessary, but I thought that show was better. I enjoyed the TakeOver more than All Out, and here's why. Start to finish, I thought it was just a really fun night. They had a great crowd, 2 title changes, and one of the best main events I've seen all year. And it was for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Walter facing Tyler Bate. Walter defending against Tyler Bate, I should say. They had awesome chemistry. The match went overly long at like 40 minutes, but it never felt like 40 minutes. The same way that even Gargano and Cole did. Or, the Rhodes Brothers versus the Young Bucks. That felt like 30, 40 minutes. This did not. They probably could have cut it up a little bit, and the finish came off as slightly anticlimactic. But overall, it was a great match, and one of the best matches I've seen all year. Better than anything at All Out. That's why I say that. I thought it was a better match than anything I saw at All Out, even over the ladder match, which was tremendous. But, real quickly, TakeOver Cardiff on Saturday. We kicked off the show Noam Dar versus Travis Banks. Really fun match. These guys worked well together. They had very good chemistry. Noam Dar is a guy that I think is way better suited on NXT UK than on 205 Live. He felt like for a while there he was just spinning his wheels on 205 Live. He's a way better option. It's a way better option to just put him on NXT UK, where he's received better by the audience. He's more motivated. He's having better showing, stuff like that. So it's cool to see him on NXT UK. And then Travis Banks is also great. I feel bad because he lost that match to Jordan Devlin many, many months ago. After he was bumped from the last TakeOver show. And the guy's great, but he really hasn't caught a break yet, which is a shame. But he's great too. He feels like he's always coming up short whenever it matters most. Whether it was in last year's UK title tournament, or this year against Jordan Devlin, or against Walter when he went for the title, or even on this show against Noam Dar. I really felt like Travis Banks should have won, but that's neither here nor there. We had a surprise appearance by Cesaro, who issued an open challenge, and he took on Ilya Dragunov, I think is how you pronounce it. He's been on NXT UK now for about a few months. Incredibly intense. I know he was a big name over in the UK wrestling scene before he came over to WWE. This guy is great too. These guys went out there and had a terrific match. It was just a lot of fun, hard-hitting, very entertaining. Dragunov, despite not coming away with the victory, gained a lot in defeat. I thought Cesaro put him over very well, despite the fact that Cesaro won, as he should have. I mean, Cesaro's a main roster guy. He's credible. He's not a top star, but he's been around for a long time. To have him lose here, I feel like would have been maybe not damaging, depending on how it was done, but he was really the smart choice. A lot like when he beat Sami Zayn all those times in NXT, including at Arrival. The whole story was that Sami Zayn was a rookie, Cesaro was like a main roster guy. At that point, Cesaro was ready to contend for the WWE Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Elimination Chamber in February of 2014. So Sami Zayn beating Cesaro would have made no sense, but it was an amazing match, and Zayn gained a lot in defeat, and Cesaro shook his hand afterwards, as he did here. Was I slightly disappointed that we did not get a cameo from Cassius Ohno to reunite or have the Kings of Wrestling feud? Yeah, a little bit, but they could always build to that if they have Cesaro go back at some point. I would love to see him have a full-on run in NXT UK. I don't think he is, because he was back on Raw this week. But the guy is great, and hopefully at some point we could see more of Cesaro on NXT UK. That's what the brand needs. That's what Cesaro needs, and really it's a win-win all around. We also had for the NXT UK Tag Team titles, Mark Webster, I'm mixing up the two names here, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, taking on the champions Grizzled Young Vets and Gallus. This was an awesome match. The crowd made this match. They wanted nothing more than to see their countrymen, Webster and Andrews. I think Webster's from Wales as well. That's a tongue twister. I know Andrews is. I don't know about Webster. I believe he is after watching the Adrian Street documentary. He made it sound like he is from Wales, so he probably is. But anyway, the crowd made this match. They wanted nothing more than to see those guys win the titles. And when they did, it was a crazy reaction. This match was amazing. And a great feel-good moment for Andrews and Webster as the new NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Awesome match. For the NXT UK Women's title, we'll get to that in a second. First, we had a last man standing match, pitting bomber Dave Mastiff against Joe Coffey. Another really good match. They took their fight all around the arena, utilized the stipulation well. And usually, last man standing matches can be very hit or miss. They can either be really, really good, very exciting, or very fucking boring. I thought this was somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of going against my own rule here, but I thought it wasn't hit nor miss. It was kind of in the middle. I thought it was a good match. If I had to choose one or the other, I thought it was a very good match. It was not amazing, but it was pretty good. Bomber Dave Mastiff losing here. His first singles loss in NXT UK since coming over late last year, which was surprising. I was not expecting that. But he wasn't pinned, so he can't claim he's yet to be pinned or submitted in NXT UK. But this was a big win for Joe Coffey, and I was surprised that he won just because I figured they were setting up Mastiff for a shot at the WWE United Kingdom title. I guess not yet anyway. And maybe he'll bounce back and get his win back in NXT UK TV. I wouldn't think so. I would hope this was the end of the feud. But this was still really good stuff, and I thought both guys put forth a great effort, awesome performances, very entertaining, hard-hitting match where they made great use of the stipulation, as I said earlier, and a bit of a surprising outcome. For the NXT UK Women's Championship, Kylie Ray beat Toni Storm for the title. Good match, but it could have been way better. I feel like they really slighted these girls for time. They were only given 10 minutes, which is kind of ridiculous when you consider that the main event went 40 minutes. That's a little much. Shave off, 10 of those minutes, give 30 to the main event, 20 to the women, maybe not 20, but at least 15. 10 was really short. Toni Storm was hitting her finisher like halfway through. By 5 minutes in, they were already exchanging finishers, which by that point I was like, okay, this is way too abrupt, way too rushed. It wasn't bad, but it could have been way better. Kylie Ray winning the championship in a shock outcome. The crowd was certainly not expecting it, but yeah, Kylie Ray is the all-new NXT UK Women's Champion. And I'm glad she's really, really good. There probably really wasn't anyone better to take the title from Toni than Kylie Ray. And based off how this was handled and Kylie Ray's post-match comments, it certainly does look like the feud is not yet over. And they will build to some sort of, rematch at some point on TV or whenever the next, TakeOver is, which probably won't be for a while. We had this one in late August for the first time in 7 months after the last one was in January. So it might be a while before they do another TakeOver, but I hope they do because this show is amazing. And then we get to the main event for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Walter defending against Tyler Bate. Like I said earlier, this might be one of my favorite matches all year. And it never once felt like 40 minutes. And for a match that really felt predictable with Walter going over, Alexa said to me multiple times, like, Walter's going over, isn't he? I'm like, probably. I mean, I've seen stranger things happen, but Walter's definitely winning. I would be shocked if they took the championship off of him so soon. But it was cool because they made you believe that Bate could win. He was a believable babyface, had the crowd behind him like crazy. He was a huge fan favorite in this matchup. And then Walter, just a gigantic asshole, throwing his weight around literally, figuratively with Tyler Bate, dominating him for the most part. Bate refused to give in, battled back, came close to winning the championship on a few different occasions, hit his finisher. This was just a tremendous match with an amazing story told. And it's not a disconnect of like, oh, the UK wrestling isn't any good or blah, blah, blah. They kind of take it more seriously than we do, or it's not as good as they think it is. Well, I dare anyone to find a match that was better on either this show or All Out or whatever in the last couple of weeks that was better than this. I thought this was amazing and one of the best matches I've seen all year. Probably match of the year contender as of right now. On all fronts, it was just a phenomenal showing, and I loved it a lot. Walter, as predicted, did come out on top, still the WWE United Kingdom Champion. Had Imperium escort him out of the arena. And again, I like that too. No Imperium, no British strong style, no bullshit, no shenanigans, no interference, no nothing. But just some good old clean wrestling, which I loved a lot. So Imperium leaves, and then British strong style out comes Pete Dunne and Trent Seven to help up Tyler Bate and kind of give a curtain call of sorts to the NXT UK audience. And Pete Dunne is already over in NXT. He was in the hunt for the NXT North American Championship just recently at the TakeOver Toronto show. So he's kind of over there, not full-time, but, he's an NXT guy at this point. I could see the same thing happening for Bate and Seven. The tag team division would be the best place for them. They're great as singles guys, too. They would be awesome in the tag team division. The issue is that we've already seen them versus Undisputed Era a bunch. We've already seen it like 3 times. And granted, it was Roderick Strong and not, what's his name, Bobby Fish. But the point still stands. I mean, it's definitely kind of the same match. So I'd be surprised if they rekindle that rivalry. But then again, the matches were so strong that I really have no issue with that. But yeah, I could certainly see all three of them going to NXT full time. Now, I would make the suggestion that they go to Raw or SmackDown, but it doesn't really feel like there's a place for any of those guys, whether they're as a unit, tag team, on their own, whatever, on either show right now. So I would love to just see them continue to do their thing in both AEW and why did I say AEW? I have the AEW results right in front of me. That's why. In NXT, NXT UK, I would hope they're not in AEW, just because that would not be good contractually right now. But yeah, I could see them doing their thing in both, but largely NXT going forward, and maybe they do rekindle the rivalry between Undisputed Era and the British. I was gonna say British Strong Style, but what's their tag team name? Mustache Mountain. Within the next couple weeks or months or so we shall soon see. But TakeOver Cardiff was an amazing show. I fucking love the hell out of it. If you have yet to watch it, please do so. You're doing yourself a major disservice if you haven't.